You think when she finally sees you've moved on, she'll just let you go peacefully. She won't. The moment she realizes she's truly lost you, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, energetically, is the exact moment her behavior changes in ways you never expected. And most men completely misread this. They think her silence means she doesn't care. They think indifference means it's over. They think if she's not chasing, she's not thinking. Wrong. Dead wrong. Here's what's actually happening. She's waiting for you to break. She's seen you pull back before. She's seen you go quiet for a few days, maybe a week, and then come crawling back with the same energy, same neediness, same pattern. So she waits, she tests, she assumes you'll crack. But here's what shifts everything. When you don't crack, when days become weeks and weeks become months, and there's no drunk text, no sudden reappearance, no emotional outburst, that's when it hits her. You're not playing a game. You've genuinely let go, and that realization changes everything because she just lost something she thought was guaranteed. Your attention, your availability, your need for her validation. The second she realizes she can't get that back on demand, her behavior towards you flips completely. Now, here's the part most men miss. You're not crazy for feeling this. The confusion you felt, the push and pull, the hot and cold, that wasn't in your head. That was real, and it happened for one reason. Human beings don't value what they don't fear losing. It's not personal, it's psychological. She treated your attention casually because she knew it was guaranteed. She knew you'd always be there. She knew if she pulled back, you'd lean in harder. But the moment that changes, the moment you stop leaning, something shifts in her that she didn't see coming. She becomes hyper aware of your absence. She checks your social media, not obsessively, but regularly. She notices when you post. She notices when you don't. She sees you moving forward, improving, living your life. And something about that bothers her in a way she didn't expect. Not because she necessarily wants you back, but because she lost control of the narrative. She was supposed to be the one who decided when it ended. She was supposed to be the prize you kept chasing, but you're not chasing anymore. And that shift in power, it destabilizes her. But the next part, this is where most men destroy everything without realizing it. When she reaches back out, and she will, it comes in soft, casual. Hey, how have you been? I saw something that reminded me of you. Just wanted to check in. It's never direct, because being direct would mean admitting she lost something, and she's not ready to admit that yet. This is the moment that reveals everything about you. If you respond immediately, with that old familiar energy, that same excitement, you failed. Not because responding is wrong, but because it shows her nothing actually changed. You were just on pause. You were just waiting for permission to care again. And once she confirms that, the dynamic resets. She pulls back. You chase. The cycle continues. But if you respond differently, calmly, briefly, without emotional charge, something else happens. She realizes the door isn't just closed. It's locked. Not out of bitterness, but because you've built a completely different life on the other side of it. Here's the root cause of all of this. Women are attracted to state, not words. They don't respond to what you say. They respond to who you are when you say it. When you were chasing her, your state was one of lack. You needed her validation to feel whole. You needed her attention to feel valuable. And she felt that. She felt the desperation under every text. She felt the neediness behind every compliment. She felt the fear that if she left, you'd fall apart. And that energy, no matter how kind, how patient, how understanding you were, killed attraction. Because attraction isn't built on need, it's built on respect. And you can't respect someone who doesn't respect themselves enough to walk away when they're not valued. But when you finally detach, your state changes. You're no longer operating from lack. You're operating from sufficiency. You don't need her to feel complete because you've made yourself complete. And that shift, it's not something you can fake. It's not something you can perform. It's something she feels. And the second she feels it, you become a different category of man in her mind. You go from the guy she had on standby to the guy she lost. Loss creates value in a way presence never did. Let me tell you what this costs you when you don't understand it. Every time you accept breadcrumbs, every time you tolerate inconsistency, every time you let her come and go without consequence, you're teaching her that your boundaries don't matter. You're showing her that your time, your energy, your peace are negotiable. And once she learns that, she'll never treat you like a priority. Because why would she? You've already shown her she doesn't have to, but it goes deeper. The real cost is internal. Every time you compromise your standards, every time you accept less than you deserve, you're eroding your own self-respect. Men don't lose women in big dramatic moments. They lose them in small quiet ones. In all the times they felt disrespected and said nothing. In all the moments they chose comfort over clarity. That's where it ends, long before the official ending. So here's what you actually do. First, stop reaching out completely. No just checking in texts, no liking her posts, no keeping the door cracked open just in case. Close it, not out of spite, out of self-respect. Second, become outcome independent. Stop caring whether she comes back or not. Stop wondering if she's thinking about you. True detachment means you genuinely don't care what she does. And that takes time. It takes discipline. But indifference becomes your default. Third, raise your standards everywhere. Not just with her, with everyone, because the pattern that allowed her to disrespect you is the same pattern letting other people disrespect you. Fix it at the root. Fourth, build undeniable evidence of your progress, not for her to see, for you. But when she does see you, and she will, there's no question you've moved on, better shape, more focused, more at peace. None of it has anything to do with her. That's what makes it powerful. Now let me ask you something honestly. If she reached out tomorrow, would you respond from a place of genuine indifference? Or would that old pull still be there? Be honest, because your answer tells you exactly how much work is left. Here's the final truth. Emotional availability without boundaries is people-pleasing. Emotional availability with boundaries, that's self-respect. Learn the difference, live the difference. The man she's going to reach out to is not the man who was waiting. It's the man who stopped waiting and started building. You are not the guy hoping she comes back. You are the guy moving forward whether she does or not. You are not the guy who needs her to feel whole. You are the guy who's whole with or without her. That's who you're becoming. And the more you step into that, the more everything else falls into place. Tell me in the comments, what's the one moment you realized you were giving too much to someone who wasn't giving back? Write it below. No performance, just honesty. And if this hits somewhere real, subscribe. Not because I asked, because there's more here that nobody else is saying straight.